Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today I am here with the lovely Abby from Uproot Brushes, and we are
Hi,
going
Addie.
to be doing a a wonderful, fun, seasonal holiday Christmas ornament project using Abby's Printworks media set for Procreate. I have that linked in the description below if you want to follow along with the brushes that we're using. Also, in the description, you'll find a small assortment of free brushes and the color palette that we'll be using today. Don't feel limited by these things. You can absolutely follow along with any brushes that you have and choose your own colors and just have fun with it. But those are some things to get you started. And the Printworks media set is super expansive and really will come into play when we do the print textures later on. So that's just a couple notes on that. And did I remember everything?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think so.
so.
If you don't have the pack, you can follow along using stock brushes. Just find a couple of textures that you like. Um, but in the freebies, Addie has made some lovely little decorative brushes that are going to add the finishing touch.
Yeah. And if you are following along with us live, let us know. Let us know where you're coming in from in the chat. You absolutely ask questions as we'll go. I don't know how much we'll get to them throughout because we'll both be sharing our screens quite a bit, but we'll absolutely wrap up at the end and catch all of the questions then. And if there's sound issues, my husband's supposed to text me if there is sound issues. Um, but if there's like unequal sound issues, just type something in chat and we can adjust it. Um, and with that, I think we can get into it. I see Linda says hi from Tybee Island, Georgia. That's
Georgia,
exciting.
is that the state or the country?
I was trying to do the calculus in my head. Tybee Island sounds more like some of the islands on the state, in the state.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Cool.
okay, yes, clarifies US. I bet it is lovely in Georgia right now. I'm in Chicago and I was just complaining to Abby about how cold my hands are. So if you see them gradually turning blue, I apologize. Um, Oh, Janelle from Oregon. Yes. Yeah, I am also too obsessed with the Printworks pack. Jacksonville, Florida. It's probably also quite nice there. Colorado, Oregon. Oh, so lovely to see everybody. Um, Sorry, my husband did text me. It showed up on screen. A little feedback on the mic. My bad.
Was that my microphone doing feedback?
Oh, I'm sure it's mine. Okay. So today, let me show you a couple examples of what we're painting. You've seen this is the thumbnail for the video and what I sent out. And then these were some other ones that I drew actually last year. Um, and then Abby has some lovely ones too. And so we're going to bounce back and forth a bit between our screen shares. Um, and I'm going to start a new canvas so we can get into it. So I'm going to use just my standard size, which is a 3000 by 3000 square canvas set to 300 DPI. And right away, I'm just adding a few layers. Let's go up to 5. And right away, I want to add in some paper textures. So I'm grabbing a solid white. This is the color palette that I have linked in the freebies below. And
It's
there's
a
like a
really nice color
cream.
palette.
Thank you. A cream and a white. This one was fun to put together. I like doing like not quite traditional um, color palette, like Christmas color palettes, just like skewing the colors a bit and then throwing in some fun ones. And then when can I actually share your screen right now to show your usage
Yeah,
of the
sure.
colors? Because I'm still so obsessed with this color combination, like the
So
blues and the orange.
this is Addie's awesome palette, and then I just picked out a few colors to use with it. I love that they're all a bit muted because it gives it a bit more of the vibe of that vintage ornament look.
Yeah, it really does. And I think something about them being washed out really adds to the
Yeah.
print effect too. I'm just like a little bit muted. Okay, so paper textures first. So on my top two most layers, I'm just going to designate these for the paper textures. And then I have pulled the two brush sets from the Printworks media set to the top here along with the freebie pack. And I'm going to mostly be using the inks and brayers set for this project. In the paper textures, you'll see that there are two brushes for each texture style, and that is to add to the shadows and the highlights. So the regular just cartridge paper one I'm going to use on my second to top layer. I'm setting the blend mode here to linear burn. And then I have my brush size set to 100%. I'm just going to swoosh to fill the whole thing in. And then on the next layer, I'm going to tap to bring up the blend modes and set this one to overlay. And now in my brush panel, I'm just going to grab the overlay version of this brush. And this one too, I want to make sure I have them set to the exact same size. So they're both set to 100. Going to swoosh this over. And you can't really tell that much of a difference, especially because it's white right now. But if I were to draw something underneath, then you can start to really see that rich texture come through. So now that we have our paper texture, I can just group this at the top. And on one of my layers below, I am going to set this up for symmetry drawing. So to do that, I'm going to tap the wrench to get into the Actions menu, and then under Canvas, I'm toggling on Drawing Guide. I'm going to tap Edit Drawing Guide, and from here, I'm going to select Symmetry automatically. This brings us to the vertical symmetry that I want right away, and then I can tap Done. And I think I'm going to go in and set a background color, like blue. I feel like you can see a little better when it's not quite so overblown or blown out, when the white balance is less of an issue.
I agree.
And then I'm going to be drawing with the Real Natural Ink brush. Set my size to about 5%. And this is the fun creative part. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have a Pinterest board. I have that linked. I might not be linked in the video description. Let me link it quick. I sent it out in an email.
This vintage Christmas decorations Pinterest rabbit hole is very deep. And you can seriously spend hours looking at beautiful Christmas decorations. I'm not a massive Christmas fanatic, but I really like old style glass decorations.
Yeah, we were talking about these photos, and like the flat lays that people do with these ornaments are so fun. And so like, yeah, these vintage styles. I love the like, I don't know what this like finish is, but where they're metallic-y, the vintage
That's
metallic.
Sort of pearlescent. Yeah.
Yes, that's the word. I love it. And so that's useful for inspiration. But what's also fun is with the symmetry tool, it's super easy to just make these weird bulbous shapes that you can make look like ornaments. So you can just start drawing. Let's just do a simple, not quite a teardrop, not quite a sphere. And then I'm going to make sure that it's all closed so I can color drop to fill. And then I'm going to stay on the same layer for this. I'm going to grab a gray and draw a little gosh, I don't know what these are called. The cap? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Little hanging hat. I don't know. Little
Yeah.
metal clutching hanger.
Yeah, we'll call it that. And then some of them have these like scalloped little edges on the bottom, so I drew that in. And then I do just a little loop.
How are your cats with Christmas trees?
Oh,
Because
the
cats and Christmas trees
worst.
are incompatible.
Pokey is our smaller cat with the nub tail. She's usually in my lap, but right now she's in the corner doing her loaf thing. Um, she doesn't care as much, but Pronto, my long, sleek, athletic black cat, look, his mission is destruction and chaos is his purpose. And so the Christmas tree is just not going to make it through that. It really is chaotic. So I've never had a real tree myself, but I've had a fake tree that he would just sit under and like pull the little like fake pine needles out of the branches and spit them out. So it wasn't like he was trying to eat it. He was literally just trying to destroy it. And then I got like plastic ornaments so that he couldn't cause real issues. And yes, that is where my screen name is from, Janelle. Yes. I saw the funniest TikTok, though. I'm going to be that person that describes the TikTok verbally, but it was of somebody with like a really small tree. And instead of having it on the floor, they had just hung it from the ceiling. And then their cat still managed to leap up and swing from the tree. So it was just hanging. I think it was playing to Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball. I can absolutely see how that happens. It's insanity.
We haven't had a Christmas tree with Nicholas, our youngest dog. Or have we? Maybe we have. I can't remember. No, I don't think we did. He's the destruction king in this house.
Really? Is it because is he younger?
Yeah, he's only 1.5.
Okay.
So I think he'll destroy a Christmas tree immediately.
So are you planning to get one this year?
We have this white plastic Christmas tree that we've had for years and years and years, which is probably going to be erected.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Something a little sturdier.
Yeah. We'll probably find little white pieces of plastic in his poo.
Okay.
As far as
thankfully they're small. They can't cause can't cause damage. Yeah, that was what got me about Pronto with the bits of plastic as well. Is he tries to eat any kind of packing tape or plastic bag, so we have to be really vigilant about that. But the tree, he didn't want to eat it. He just wanted it to not exist.
Oh. My sister has a cat that eats. They bought him a plastic handled toilet plunger. You know those rubber plungers? And they stuck it onto the floor so that he could kick the stick because it wobbles backwards and forwards. And he's gnawed it down. Now it's a little stub. And he's swallowed all that plastic. And he seems fine, which is, a worry.
I suppose just one piece at a time.
Yeah.
Just bit by bit. Yeah. It's just so strange to me that like these wild animals are perfectly happy to live with us, and they kind of always stay on some degree wild animals.
Yeah.
And we just still they're happy to exist with us humans.
This is so relaxing to draw with the symmetry tool on. It's very, very hypnotic. I love it.
Yeah. So can I share what you're doing?
Yeah.
I have to let my cat out too. So that was my excuse.
So the way that I did the center was I turned on radial symmetry. So I'll turn this one off and I'll show you. Edit drawing guide and then just turn on radial, and that will allow you to make like a pattern that isn't mirrored. So whoopsie,
Yeah.
you have to actually have the symmetry. Drawing assist has to be on, otherwise you're just barking into the
Ooh.
wind.
See,
Did
and I find it
anybody
just
watch the
mesmerizing to
football?
watch.
Did anybody watch the football just now where Argentina went to a penalty shootout with the Netherlands? Is anybody else watching
Oh.
this football? I'm obsessed. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry we took you away from it. That sounds
No, no, no. It
thrilling.
ended actually this morning when we were a little bit I got the wrong time and arrived early, and you said no, 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 it's an hour later. I was like, yes, I could go and watch the penalty shootout.
Oh, good. Things all worked out then.
Everything works out.
But that's so who won?
Argentina won. And I don't know why Messi says that he doesn't do dives, because somebody accidentally bumped his face and then he rolled on the ground like for 10 minutes, acting like he just had his face ripped off.
Oh no.
Anyway, you know, you know how it is.
Yeah. Janelle said there's a lot of yelling in her household. Are your boys into it as well, Abby?
No, just Philip and I. Robin, sort of. He made we assigned everybody in the family a few teams. Philip, Robin, Mary, Simon, and Philip's brother, Jeremy, and I. And the dogs also had some teams because we couldn't divide it up perfectly across all seven of us. Um, the dogs were eliminated immediately. They had Qatar and Saudi Arabia, I think, or Cameroon. No, Cameroon. Yeah.
It's probably
I
better that way because what would it have been like if they had been the winning team?
Exactly. Exactly. There's no actual prize. Apparently, I think the winner gets a bag of Skittles. So I mean,
Oh, that's a good prize though. It's nice to have some
yeah.
kind of stakes, even if it's really low stakes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, this would be me, Janelle, making a bracket just on the jersey design, 100%. I'm sorry that it didn't work out for you though. I do enjoy. I call it soccer because I'm American. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
do enjoy like the crowds just seem like so excitable compared to like all
Passionate.
sports fans are like really passionate, right? But soccer fans are on another level.
Yeah, they are. They cut to the crowd when Argentina made their final, when they got their final penalty, and there was an old man just weeping. Oh my God,
Oh,
ecstasy that they got it
oh.
through.
Do they do the cam, like a fan cam of all of the crying children? Because we have that for like some football games. They'll do that, or sorry,
Really?
American football games.
Yeah.
And they'll just show like I don't know, 30 seconds of a bunch of different sad children. It's
Oh, because they
horrible.
didn't make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they didn't show that. They just showed these crowds of men all embracing each other in ecstatic victory.
See, I'd rather see the people celebrating than the people
Yeah,
sad that
yeah,
they didn't win.
exactly.
So I didn't talk through this, but I will now. I moved up to a new layer to do some fun little detail bits, and so I used one of the brushes in the freebie pack, this Crisp Stars brush, and then the dotted line. set to cream, I'm just going to draw some fun little swirlies. And this layer here that I have is not set to symmetry. And now that I have that ornament, I think I'll call it good, I am going to add the print effect. So to do that, I am going to drag my empty layers above these two. And then on my assisted layer that has like the base colors, I am grabbing the selection tool and I have it set to automatic. I have color fill turned off. That's an important one. And then I'm going to tap to select all of the red bits. And you might have to play with your selection threshold to make sure that it selects just the color that you want. You can do that by sliding your pencil back and forth on the screen. Now that I have this selected, I can move up to one of my empty layers. And I'm going to grab the dry brayer brush. I like this one because it's a nice balance of adding color and keeping some nice little gaps. You'll play around, grab whichever one you prefer, but this is my favorite. And then making sure that I have the right red selected, I'm going to go ahead and hide my base layer so we can see what I'm painting in. I'm just going to swoosh in that red. Then I can release the selection, move back down to my base layer. And once more, I'm grabbing the selection tool, set to automatic, and I'm going to grab the green. And then on my other empty layer here, this is where we're going to spread everything out between the new layers for different colors. Grab the same teal green. Oh, turn off my layer so I can see what I'm doing here. And with this brush, it's pressure sensitive for, I guess, opacity. It's the harder you press, the less texture you'll see, and the more pigment will fill. So what can be kind of fun on this is you can almost use it as an opportunity to create a little bit of dimension in the ornament. So I'm adding more pigment on the left side and then a little less on the right. And then I'm hopping back down to my base layer, grabbing the white stripe. I think I actually used cream for that. And then I'm going to add a new layer. And once more, just filling this in, using more pressure on the left side. And then the last thing that I need to grab from this layer is this topper that I already forgot what we decided we were calling it, the clutcher loop hanger thing. And I'm adding a new layer, grabbing the selection tool. And now I'm going to decrease my brush size so I can really refine the shading here for this. Okay, so now I am going to drag this little detail layer to the top so that I can make sure I'm selecting everything. And this one's going to be just a little bit different. I am going to select the entire layer contents and then use a smaller brush to individually fill in these sections. So the cream and the gold will be on the same layer together. So first I'm going to add a new layer, which will be where I do my print effect. And then I'm going to use 2 fingers to press and hold to select the layer contents. That's a gesture shortcut. If you want to select it another way, you can tap to bring up the side menu and choose select from that menu, and that will do the same thing. And then on my new empty layer, I'm going to go ahead and hide that base detail layer that I have. and grab, we'll start with the cream. And with the dry brayer, I'm going to reduce the size even more. And all of my cream is on the red sections, so I'm going to stay within those to paint that in. Okay, and then my yellow stars are on the green and cream stripes. Okay, now I can delete my two base layers here so we don't get confused. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Don't delete them. Undo. One more thing I wanted to do with this, the detail base layer, is reload the layer selection. And then I am going to select all of these layers and remove what I have selected from them so that everything will fit together perfectly like a puzzle. I'll show this too. Nice message from Camille. Definitely go to sleep. I know it's like close to midnight for you in France. Thank you for popping in. Have a wonderful Christmas. So sweet of you to pop in. Okay, so I have a few things going on here. I've selected the layer contents of this detail layer, and then separately in my layers panel, I've selected all three of these layers that are sitting underneath the details. And then I'm going to grab the transform arrow and just, you can see as I move this to the side, the corresponding colors that I'm removing it from, and just slide it off of the canvas. Now we can go ahead and delete these comfortably, and we can shift things off register. So to make things easy, I'm going to shift the red a little bit, and I think I'll shift the details slightly as well in the same-ish direction so that everything has a slight gap, which just, I think, helps add to some of the realism.
Yeah.
And then if you want to do a string, I'm going to switch back to the natural ink, and you can do just a simple straight line for the string if you want. Or I'm going to grab a gold here, and, or actually silver would probably make sense. So we'll do a gray. We can draw in some little chain links if we want. So doing those little extra things with symmetry turned off can make it feel a little more organic. And if you wanted, you could also do a print effect on the string or the chain or whatever you've chosen to use. And that's one ornament. So what I will do is group this together into one. And I think if you're keen, I'll show yours, Abby. Oh my gosh, you've created just these 3 marvelous ornaments in the time that I did the one.
I'm just thinking that they need to have a white background instead of a...
I love this idea of doing holiday cards in this style.
Whoops.
Okay, so what do we have?
Doing automatic select outside of the ornament so that I can give it a white background because I've already flattened my layers. Whoop. I think a cream background is probably a better one.
Ooh, yeah. So that is something that I forgot with mine, is that because I'm working on the white background, or sorry, I'm working on the blue background instead of the white, I don't have that. I feel like this is the authentic print look because you would print the colored background at the same time as the other things, right?
Yeah, I think either way, it still looks cool.
Yeah, yeah,
This
but
one
I
I
feel like it
just,
pops off the page more.
yeah, maybe a darker background like this navy blue. Then it really pops off the page.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to walk through the alternative technique?
Yeah, so my process of getting the print effect was the multiple layers and it's pretty complex and Abby has this absolutely genius technique to apply it, especially for the more complex details. So yeah.
I just put strings on these because it's bothering me that they're stringless. Okay, so let's start a new one. I'll change the background to white just for now. Make a new one, and I'm just going to use this kind of symmetry instead of radial for the moment. Make a, whoopsie, symmetry's actually got to be on. Just going to make a random one with maybe some stripes. Oops. If you want to put the stripes directly on the thing without having to do select whatever, you can just alpha lock it so everything that you draw is going to stick to the shape that you made only. Hang on. I touched my screen with 4 fingers and then it refused to return back to normal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and let's say I'm making this incredibly detailed and breathtaking. Just imagine that for now.
I
And
like this. I think it looks like a Christmas tree topper.
oh yes, like yeah, we've got one of those that I got in Germany. It's so dramatic that it makes the rest of our tree look ridiculous. It would be like putting, you know, makeup on a dog. It's that kind of like, whoa.
I suppose you probably need all of your ornaments to be in the same style
Yes,
or
yes, exactly.
caliber. Lori says,
Okay.
Abby, you kill me.
Um, oh, is Laurie here?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey! She and I we have made a pack of brushes that is so good you won't even believe it. And the Christmas ornament thing, Laurie made a whole lot of beautiful Christmas ornament illustrations for that pack. Her, yeah, you're gonna be wetting yourself when you see it. It's really good.
I think I don't know if this was. I would assume some of these are with the pack. Let me pull up. I remember Laurie had posted. Just really quick, I want to scroll through if you can. Oh, I'm
How
sorry,
good
it's
is
kind of
that?
small on my screen, but
That's okay.
yeah, so amazing. So
Yeah.
I feel like these are with the pack, right?
Yes, they are. So
Yeah,
Laurie's
and
handle is retro_Rudolphs, and her illustrations are just mind blowing. How cool is that?
yeah, it's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah,
Oh my God, so good. Hugely
yeah,
inspirational.
yeah.
Let me pop back to your
Okay,
screen.
so I'm gonna quickly make a topper bit thing that we decided, whatever they're called. That's like the 25th time I've forgotten to turn on Drawing Assist. You'd think that my learning curve would be slightly steeper than that. Clearly, it is not. Um,
Okay, Pokey, I need you to sit or not sit here.
Okay, so I've made my decoration, and what I just do is merge the whole lot so that it's one flat thing and draw it all on one layer. And then to give it the print effect, I just make it into the clipping mask of the layer below. So we make a new layer below it and then tap the layer that the illustration is on and tap clipping mask. So it's going to clip to whatever is underneath it. And then I just grab white and set this layer to multiply. So even if I do have a different color background, you'll still be able to see. But if I want it to be white, then I have to, never mind, let me just carry on explaining. I lost my train of thought then. Okay, let me set it to normal for now. So
Okay.
I'm choosing Inky Gappy Patina. And so wherever I'm drawing with the white, it's going to show up. The ornament that I've clipped to it is going to show up.
Okay.
So the texture is automatically introduced into the object because it will only be where the texture is. So that's
I
a
love.
quick, sneaky way to do it with, but then you're not going to get the off-register vibe unless you do this. So tap select on your object that you drew layer, go to the, tap select, and then tap invert. So now we have selected the outside of what we have drawn, and then go to the layer that you've clipped it to and tap clear. So now you have exactly the ornament shape in the printed texture, so that you can leave it set to normal and set your background to a different color, and then set your what am I trying to say? Duplicate this, move these two is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, yes, so that you retain the texture for
Yes,
the clipping mask one,
exactly.
and then the
Exactly.
off register comes from the duplicate.
Yes, exactly. How did I do that again? That needs to be normal. What is going on in my brain? The texture looks a little bit off. Maybe it doesn't need to be that far off register. There we go.
I love how
And then
dimensional
set
it
this to
looks.
multiply.
Ooh.
Yeah, hang on. Let's flatten this. And then do it the way that I did these ones, where I flattened it with the white background. And then I went select, invert, and I made a little backing. And that will give you the white even in the gaps. So it's
Yeah.
less eye shattering. I think that's the way that it needs to be done.
Yeah, I do like it both ways because like I had said, the dimension of the textured one looks really cool.
Yeah, it does.
I like the
But I
overlap
think,
of the
yeah,
multiply here too.
yeah. So hang on. Let me just recap what I did because it's not exactly clear in this explanation. So let's make the background white again. Grab something to draw with. I'm just going to make a, whoops. I'm using crusty liner. Just going to make a, this is really getting embarrassing.
No.
Just an oval kind. Okay, and fill it. And I'm just going to do a pattern across the middle of it. Going to alpha lock it so I can draw directly on it. Right. Then I think I need to unalpha lock it so that I can make its little hat that goes up like that.
I think this is really cool for those, like you have all of the scribbly lines and the crisscrossing, and rather than trying to
Yeah,
select each individual orange section within that, it's nice
yeah,
to be able to keep it simple and still get the print effects.
yeah, yeah. And I'm going to make the little hat, drawing assist. Yes, finally. Um,
I'm so excited for the pack that you have with Lori. Do you know when it might be released?
yes, it's going to be released on the 21st of December, just in time for Christmas for everybody revving up.
Yeah.
Um, and it's going to be launched on Design Cuts exclusively for the first 2 weeks and then on our sites. Um, and it's really going to be a cool pack.
And
Um,
it was very hard because I knew it wasn't going to be out for this live session. It was very hard not to use what you'd sent me when planning this because they would fit in so perfectly.
yeah, they're really nice brushes. I'm really happy at how they turned out. Okay,
It's
so
so
I'm
good.
merging this all into one layer. So I've got the one layer. Let's make um, it clip to the layer below, clipping mask. Then we're going to grab white and we're going to grab a texture. I like this one, Inky Gappy. And then I'm going to tap select on my layer that I drew in, go to the layer below where I'm going to do the texture, and I'm going to draw it in so that it's textured nicely. Okay, and then I'm going to merge it down. Then to make the background, whoops, let's make the background navy blue so we can see nicely. Go onto the layer that is the image, tap automatic select, do the selection on the outside, invert, go to the layer below, fill, and then you can do the offset and then make this multiply. Was that a little bit
Uh,
clearer?
yes. This is
Okay.
just awesome.
Here we can
Janelle said that's so
activate
brilliant.
all of our bits and bobs. So hang on, let's get rid of the string for now. And this one we can make go here. This one we can make go somewhere else. This one's a bit big. Whoops. Hang on, what do I do? Ducks. Let's just group those two so I don't do that again. And then I can add my strings. There we go. Ta-da!
Lovely. I love that. I love the color coordination that they're not all using the exact same palettes, but there's tie-ins. You've been
Yeah.
so productive this 45 minutes. I'm still working on my second ornament.
I'm trying to decide what color the background should be because, um,
Oh,
yeah, all of them are
I
nice.
popped I popped in because I wanted to show how to do some snow crusted effects. Um,
Ooh, like you did on the
bef-
lettering that said vintage ornaments.
yes, I have way too much fun putting snow on things. We can do this as if the I like to think of it as just like you're dumping like glittery snow on the ornament and where it might fall within the ornament. So on my base layer, I haven't done any print effects or anything. I'm just going to select, oh, that's not automatic. I'm going to select the blue only, including these little bits here. And then on a new layer, I'm going to use the grimy patina. I'm going to reduce my brush size way down. And we can start to just cake it on here. The opacity increases. I had to think for a second if it was decreasing or increasing. The opacity increases if you go over it a few times, which can, I feel like it just adds to that like crumbly snow kind of look. And then if we dumped it here and this was like a second layer, it would probably start around here. And then I don't like to have the top side of the snow totally straight. I like to add like, I don't know, little mounds, little snow piles. I grew up in Minnesota, so I have a
Oh
absurd
my gosh.
amount of
I
experience with
have
snow.
to ask you something about Minnesota. I saw a
Okay.
recipe for something called Minnesota salad, and it was basically like peanut butter and marshmallow fluff and mayonnaise and jelly babies and like shit you would not put together. Is that real?
Um, the only so what the you had me until the mayonnaise part. So I think
No, maybe I'm exaggerating with mayonnaise. I think it was like a can of pumpkin puree and then some pecan nuts and then some jelly beans. And I don't know, I was
these
thinking,
responses are killing me.
how can they call this salad?
Yeah, I mean, so it's definitely it's real, as Carol confirms here. I've not personally had anything to like that degree, but I've had like ambrosia salad, which I think is like rice and Cool Whip and marshmallows and fruit. Um,
Rice. Rice, like boiled
yeah,
rice.
yeah, like white
I
rice.
suppose rice pudding is a thing, but is it cold? Is it cold rice?
Yes, yes, and it's all just mixed together. And then
My
I've
mouth
had
is just
Snicker
telling me
salad.
that that texture wouldn't go well.
I don't. Do you have the candy bar
Snickers.
Snickers? You know,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
It's Snickers. I think it's again Cool Whip. And apples. It's actually real. It's very good. It's insane that it's called a
That
salad.
sounds that sounds like I could eat that. That's like a variation on trifle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um. The
Maybe I
okay.
need to
I'm.
make some for Christmas.
You would assume that ambrosia salad was dessert. I've had Santa Claus salad. My Aunt Susan makes Santa Claus salad, and it's got Jello and Cool Whip and marshmallows. A lot of Cool Whip. um, but the but the first thing that you described, I remember there was an episode of How I Met Your Mother where they all went to one of the characters' family's home in Minnesota and they made something like that. And I want to say it had mayonnaise in it and peanut butter and things like that. So
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that it is very much a thing. But I think Minnesota is
Cool.
also really known for casserole dishes, which
Oh,
is
like
also not
oven
something.
casseroles
Yeah.
where you put everything in the same container and just put it in the oven.
Yes, exactly that.
I've seen a couple of those where people take like dry spaghetti, pour it into a basin, a oven bake thing, and then just pour milk over and take an entire slab of cheese and balance it on top, and then just put it in the oven.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those TikTok recipes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have never been a casserole person though. Because they're like tuna noodle casserole or
Oh,
um
okay.
they just yeah, I feel like there's like hamburger casserole, which actually maybe that one wouldn't be so bad.
Hamburger. Where do
But
you put the
yeah,
buns?
there's
Do the buns not go in? Or do you take
I
it out and
think
put it on
noodles.
buns? Oh,
I I think there aren't any
okay.
buns.
No
Well,
buns. Okay.
maybe we should move on. We're making chat sick. Oh, this is funny. We tend to call a lot of things salad. Guilt avoidance. That is so spot on. That is spot
Yeah.
on, especially the Snicker salad.
Well, I'm going to make trifle and call it salad and feel
Yes.
no guilt about it.
Yeah, America's just.
Do you make fruitcake for Christmas?
I do not. I'm not a fruitcake person. Do you?
Yes, but only because my neighbors are elderly and I absolutely adore them. So I make them fruitcake
Oh.
every Christmas. And then my recipe makes 3 fruitcakes, not 2. So I always keep one and eat it. And I've gradually just decided I quite like it. So, because when I was
That's
younger, I
awesome.
used to hate it because the texture of raisins is a great big no-no. There's something gross about a thing that has the exact same texture biting into a tick.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
But so your fruit is just raisins and other dried
it's
fruits, or is it that mix?
raisins. I chop up lots of fruit and put it in. So raisins and apricots and dates and uh, candied peel and dried cherries,
Oh.
cranberries, some glacé cherries because they're nice if you find one in the fruitcake. Like yes, um, that's
Yeah.
it.
So that actually sounds very good. I feel
Yeah.
like I've only had store-bought fruitcake. I don't know that I've had homemade fruitcake. And the store-bought is always, it's difficult, the ones that I've had to identify the fruit in them. It's all
Yeah.
mystery fruit. And
Yeah.
I remember them being like vivid
Mystery.
green and vivid red, which makes me think
Oh
that they
yeah,
maybe weren't
those.
fruit at all.
No, no.
Like maybe they were
Yeah,
just like
maybe.
gummy bears.
Yeah, yeah. But I
Yours
definitely
sounds
need you to
amazing.
give me your pumpkin pie recipe that you
Oh,
made for Thanksgiving. That I
I'm
was just so jealous. I was just thought, oh my gosh, that looks delicious.
well, I suppose that pumpkins maybe don't grow everywhere, and so they might not grow in Australia, and that
Well,
just never occurred to
not
me.
at that time of year. We get them in
Oh, of
autumn, which
course.
is March. You'll get big, proper pumpkins.
Okay.
But around Thanksgiving, I suppose we only have butternut pumpkins, which you could, probably use to make a pumpkin pie. I'm going to
Yeah.
attempt it. I'm going to find a recipe and make myself a pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I will send you my recipe, but I'm just a back of the can recipe person. So,
Cool, cool, cool.
yeah.
Try it and test it. I think that's the message there.
I agree. That's how I feel about back of the can, back of the bag recipes. Is
Yeah,
that they have to
yeah,
be really good to make it there. Yeah.
exactly.
This is
Exactly.
this is how I've always felt about fruitcake, that it lives for years and automatically repopulates every time you cut a
Yeah.
piece. And yeah, that's pretty much been my experience. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do your technique here.
Yep.
So I set this as a clipping mask,
Yeah.
and then on this one I grab the cream. I'll stick with the grimy patina. Oh, and then I set this to multiply?
Yeah,
Or
that
is
one.
that?
No, that one you set to multiply and you tap select before you start coloring the
Oh,
clipping mask.
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. I definitely would have messed that one up. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Ooh, I want to add in print gaps with this eraser. We use print gaps eraser 1.
That looks cool.
Cool. And then I didn't do this on an ornament, so I'll do this really quick to show you because I included those dot brushes in the freebies and I wanted to show you how to make them into Christmas lights. So on a new layer set to drawing assist, let's just do a bell. Gotta close the gaps at the top. Okay, so on any base ornament, add a new layer, and then I'm gonna grab the multicolor dotted line and any color, and increase the size a bit, maybe not quite that much. And so I'm just gonna draw this like a big string of lights all tangled up. We'll see how it looks. And this one is not set to drawing assist. Kind of just looks like confetti right now. Maybe I added too many lights. Okay, so then with making sure that I'm just on this multicolored dot layer, I'm going to tap the wand to bring up the adjustments menu. And then from here, I'm going to select bloom. And right away, I'm going to set it to 100. But you can see that didn't make a big effect. And so what I like to do for details this small is decrease the transition and then the size. And now you can see it really has that lit up effect. And then by changing the burn slider as well, you can adjust that.
This is such a handy tool that I so seldom use in Procreate, but it's actually a
Yeah,
really lovely effect that it gives.
it really does. And I think I've tried to think through what the steps would be to get this separately. And it's just so nice that it's all included in one tool because I think
Yeah,
you'd have to do another layer with a blur effect and then change the blend mode to add. And it
yeah,
still wouldn't, I think, be as cohesive and complete as this.
yeah.
And then if you want, I feel like it needs a string or a wire for the lights. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to use the crusty ink liner for this because that one goes really small. And I'm going to turn up my streamline. Let's see, where do I do that? Preferences. Pressure and smoothing. Increase my stabilization and motion filtering for this because it's already looking shaky. There we go. So then I can kind of start to follow my lines. That's supposed to be a little plug.
Winding Christmas lights back up is a nightmare.
It really is. It really is. So that was the other effect. All right. So let me see if I could snag any questions that I have missed here. Oh, first I want to show your. Oh, that's so lovely. I love the
I used your
stars.
lovely star brush. Yeah, it's lovely. And
That
then I
looks
did the
so
bloom
good.
effect. Looks good.
And the super dark background. Oof, so fun. So if you've been following along or if you try this later and you post on Instagram, be sure to tag us so that we can see. Because
Can
that's
I
always the
quickly
most fun.
show you the images for the pack that Laurie and I made?
Please do give us the
Okay.
exclusive.
So it's a pack of 3 brush sets. There are pattern fills. There are core brushes, which has got liners, textury brushes, painterly brushes, beautiful little pattern brushes that make a little detailed pattern. And then there's paper texture brushes as well. And how cute is this illustration? It's called, Laurie called it Spring Loving Sally. And
Yes,
she has all these little, like, did you have paper dolls when you were little?
I did.
That was so much fun. I remember, like, I spent hours with paper dolls. So these are really, really cute. Was a bit nostalgic. So these are the
Yeah.
liners. How cool are the little umbrellas? These are Spring Loving
Oh
Sally's
my
umbrellas.
gosh. The
And this
accessories for
one,
paper dolls were my favorite.
yeah.
Like
I
the
wonder
because there
what's
would be
happened
ones where
to
you
all of.
stuck the hand through and like a
Yes,
little slit.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And these are the
Yeah.
little gift tags. Yeah, how cute are those?
Oh,
And
so
then
adorable.
there's some ink stamps that are in the pack as well.
This
How
is
cute is
so
she? I
creative.
love her. I
Oh.
know.
You know what
Does
this reminds
this?
me of?
Yeah,
The 101 Dalmatians, some of the art in the background of those and like the
yeah.
row houses specifically, it very much has that vibe, which is just so cool.
Um, and then this little Halloween drawing just
Oh,
blew my mind. I love her little gift bag and the pumpkin on a stick. Um,
there's so much detail. I feel like
yeah,
every image is a story.
it is exactly. And this is the kitty. Uh,
I love the cat.
um, and this is just to show how you can add a whole lot of detail and text just super easily. So stay tuned. This pack is going to be awesome.
This is amazing. Maybe we can do a live. I'm putting the invitation out there. Feel free to accept or decline. But Lori, it would be so fun to have you
Yeah.
too. This
Yes.
is just amazing. Thank you for sharing
Exactly. I
us
would
the
I
sneak
would
peek.
absolutely love to have Laurie on and just marvel at how easily and beautifully she draws.
Yes, yes, please. So think about it, Lori. If you're still here, and maybe I'll message you. um, this is
Cool.
so delightful. I cannot wait. December 21st. Keep an eye out.
Yep. Yep.
And then couple notes here. Carol asked if we've ever met in person. We have not.
No. No.
We are very,
No.
very far away, and we
Yeah.
kind of started talking. I want to say like right before the pandemic happened, or right
Yeah, it
around the
was.
time
It
that the
was
pandemic happened.
it was I think end of 2019 was when we
Yeah,
first started deciding we would do stuff together. Yeah. And
yeah,
now
and
our
so
preparation chats for our lives end up being like just like
hours.
2 hours social chat.
Yes. Yeah, that is the Minnesota thing that I drag in. We call them Minnesota goodbyes, where the other person is clearly trying to extricate themselves, and the Minnesotan in the room just keeps the conversation going and keeps pulling them back. That's
My
the way.
husband
That's how
is
it goes.
sounds like he's from Minnesota too.
Yeah, yeah. I love doing these lives with you and having you guys all join us for them and chat
Yeah,
with
it's
us and
awesome.
seeing you come back time after time. It has just honestly, it's my most favorite thing that I
Yeah,
do.
I completely
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. And on that
Um,
bombshell,
yeah. I think I think most of the other questions we got along the way. Um, if not, leave it in a comment below and we'll answer. I'll answer
yeah,
in the comments as well. And the best way to find out about future live sessions is probably through Instagram. We'll post on our stories when we're going live that week. And then I also try to send out emails, but you can also turn on notifications and subscribe to my YouTube channel to get like a push notification when we go live.
yeah, yeah,
So everything that we used for this is in the description below. Be sure to check out the print media pack and download the freebies. And again, tag us if you make this. We would love to see.
yeah.
Thank you guys so much for
Cool.
watching, and we will see you next time. If we don't see you before Christmas, have a wonderful holiday season.
Yeah.